As I was thrust into the river by the combined efforts of my 6 stepbrothers, clutching the candy my mother had given me, I met a watery demise. Upon reopening my eyes, I found myself nestled within a swaddling cloth, transformed into a mere month-old infant. Before me stood 6 young rascals, their gazes dark and menacing, poised to reach out and squeeze me. As I beheld their odious expressions, I cursed inwardly, "You wretched little scoundrels, just wait until I can speak." Suddenly, my mother burst forth from the kitchen, exclaiming, "It is a rare occasion for me to cook, and I asked you all to keep an eye on your sister. How could you be cursing?" The boys exchanged bewildered glances, the eldest scratching his head. "Mom, you must have misheard," he replied. "We were just about to entertain our little sister." No one said anything. Observing his shameless demeanor, I continued my mental tirade. "You, the most ungrateful of all, were the one who plotted to sell me to a decrepit old bachelor when I was merely 3 years old. How vile!" My mother's hand trembled momentarily as she hurriedly scooped me into her arms, her eyes wide with astonishment. Mother Chimingerwan held me tightly in her embrace, her eyes filled with a mixture of astonishment and suspicion. She uttered not a word, hastily carrying me back to the bedroom, where she slammed the door shut with a resounding bang. The 6 little miscreants were left outside, exchanging bewildered glances. Within the room, Mother placed me upon the soft, plush bed, her gaze fixated on me with an intensity that made me feel slightly uneasy. I blinked my innocent, wide eyes and let out a soft coo, expelling a bubble of milk foam. "Oh, Mother, please don't look at me that way. I know I'm adorable. But there's no need for such infatuation. Rest assured, I shall protect you throughout this lifetime, ensuring that those vile creatures never prevail." Chimingerwan's expression grew even more peculiar as she extended her hand to touch my forehead, then her own, murmuring to herself that there was no fever. I was at a loss for her words, feeling bashful under my mother's unwavering gaze, so I flashed a toothless grin in her direction. "Mother is the most beautiful and generous in the world. I love you the most." Mother paused momentarily, her knitted brows relaxing, a gentle smile gracing her features. She planted a kiss on my cheek. Mother loves her baby, too. Outside, the 6 little rascals continued their incessant chatter. "What's wrong with Mom? Why the sudden outburst?" "Who knows? Perhaps she's experiencing menopause. It's likely she finds us displeasing, given we are not her biological children." My blood boiled as I overheard their words. Nonsense. Not only are you not her biological children, but you are also the illegitimate spawn of a mistress. My mother is the most unfortunate and wronged victim in the world. Chimingerwan abruptly turned her head, her gaze piercing through the door at the figures outside. Her eyes turned frigid. Just then, a knock on the door interrupted the tension. "Wan, what's the matter? I heard from the eldest that you seem rather upset. If there's something troubling you, please share it. Don't frighten the children." A gentle male voice called out. Following this, a tall and handsome man entered, flanked by the 6 little brats, each with their heads bowed in a feigned display of victimhood. "This is my biological father, Sun. He is also the very culprit who, in a past life, caused my mother's demise and stripped away all of my grandfather's family wealth." The sight of his hypocritical face churned my stomach. "Ah, you, the quintessential scoundrel. A useless son-in-law reliant on my mother's family, yet you still keep a mistress outside. You fathered these 6 wretched creatures and brought them home for my mother to adopt as her stepchildren. How shameless. None of you are good people." Mother's grip around me tightened abruptly, causing a slight discomfort. Her scrutinizing gaze locked onto Sun's face. He appeared somewhat unsettled under her stare, his smile faltering. Wan, why do you look at me like that?" Mother remained silent, merely responding coolly. "Nothing, I just feel that you seem somewhat unfamiliar." Sun's expression shifted, but he quickly regained his affable demeanor. He approached and took me from Mother's arms. Instantly, I buried my face into her embrace, clutching her clothing tightly. "Don't touch me, you scoundrel, you rotten cucumber. It's your fault that my mother was so trusting, leading her to suffer so greatly." Mother trembled slightly, sidestepping Sun's hand. "Your own daughter, and you're not even trying." Sun's demeanor darkened, his voice cold as he retorted, "What is this behavior? I return home after a long day's work only to find you sulking. One might think I've wronged you. Mother gently patted me and ignored him, the atmosphere growing palpably awkward. At that moment, a shrill voice shattered the silence. Oh, dear. My lovely daughter-in-law, why are you quarreling with Asun again? My conniving grandmother waddled in, her figure resembling that of a beryl, her beady eyes scanning me with disdain. What is so precious about this little girl? Our Asun toils tirelessly outside only to come home and endure your sour demeanor. Your airs, as a wealthy heiress, are a bit too much, aren't they? She cast a smug glance at the 6 stepbrothers trailing behind her. No amount of wealth can produce a proper heir. Thankfully, Asun had the foresight to adopt a few sons. Otherwise, with your meager inheritance, who knows who would inherit it in the future? My blood boiled at her words. Heavens, this old hag truly knows how to twist the truth. What do you mean adopted? These 6 are undoubtedly your son's offspring. Don't you have any awareness of that? And you dare to look down on me for being a girl? If it weren't for my mother, your entire family would still be gnawing on mud in the countryside. Your entire family, from the eldest to the youngest, are all worthless. You're nothing but actors. When I grow up, the first thing I'll do is send you, old hag, to the crematorium. Then pack up those 6 little wolves one by one to meet the king of hell. Mother cradled me, gently patting my back, yet her eyes grew colder. At the dining table, the atmosphere was tense. Pei's Wasun cleared his throat. Wan, here is the latest project plan from the company. Please have a look. He handed a document to Mother, adding, there is something else I wish to discuss with you. I propose transferring some of our shares to the 6 children. What do you think? Pei's Wasun feigned a paternal demeanor, ruffling the eldest's hair. The children are growing up. They need some security. He continued, moreover, by introducing them to these matters early on, they can better assist us in the future and protect their sister. The old hag immediately chimed in, exactly. How can boys not have assets? Our Pei family's legacy must be passed down to them. The eldest stood up, gazing at Pei's Wasun with gratitude. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Grandma. We will study hard and ensure the safety of Mommy and our sister. The others echoed his sentiments, acting as though they were the epitome of brotherly affection. Upon hearing this, I felt my anger reach a boiling point. You're helping who? You think you can bully me just because I can't speak yet, with your entire family ganging up on my mother and me? And the Pei family's legacy? You, a good-for-nothing relying on your wife, have the gall to say such things? The company left by my grandparents is not a dime's worth to your pack of wolves. Mother looked down at me, pausing in silence. Número 3. A stunned silence enveloped the dining table. Pei's Wasun's complexion turned ashen. Mingwan, what do you mean? Mother set her chopsticks down, her expression impassive as she regarded him. What I mean is that the company was left to me by my parents. It has no connection to your Pei family. After declaring this, Mother cradled me and walked straight back to her room, leaving the entire family in the dining hall, their faces a kaleidoscope of emotions. A sight to behold. Once back in the room, Mother retrieved a thick photo album from the cupboard. Within it were images of my grandparents in their youth, alongside my mother, who radiated happiness. I knew that Mother was the daughter of a wealthy family, once basking in glory. But a tragic car accident left one grandparent deceased and the other incapacitated, shattering my mother's world. Mother, please don't be sad. That accident was no mere misfortune. It was orchestrated by that beast, Pei's Wasun. He aimed to cut off all ties. You devoted so many years as a housewife to care for this family and those 6 little beasts. Now he controls the company, and our chances of a comeback are slim. I watched as Mother's tears dripped onto the album, my heart aching unbearably. She closed the album, wiping her tears dry. The following day, Mother seemed transformed, donning a sharp, professional suit. Holding me close, she addressed Pei's Wasun, who was having breakfast. I've grown weary of staying at home for these past few years. I intend to return to the company. He nearly choked on his milk. Return to the company. How many years has it been since you managed it? What can you do? The company, after all, is the culmination of my parents' hard work. Is it too much to return and take a look? Pei's Wasun's expression wavered, contemplating a way to intervene, yet struggling to find a suitable justification. Ming Ruan, the company has me. You should focus on caring for the children at home. My mother smiled lightly. What? Do I need your approval to return to my own company? Pei Zhuoxuan was momentarily rendered speechless. The old crone beside them sneered. A woman should stay at home, nurturing her husband and raising her children, not flaunting herself in public. My mother couldn't even be bothered to give her a glance. Upon arriving at the company, everyone was taken aback. Chairman Shi, what brings you here? Pei Zhuoxuan's secretary, a young and striking woman, rushed out to greet my mother. Oh, isn't this the niece of the mistress? Positioned as a secretary but truly a spy. The company's accounts must be a complete mess. Who knows how much they have embezzled? My mother discreetly cast her a sidelong glance before heading straight for the chairman's office. Along the way, many long-standing employees recognized her and excitedly gathered around. Miss, you have finally returned. Uncle Wang, the financial director, a loyal subordinate of my grandfather, unfortunately, has been sidelined by Pei Zhuoxuan. Manager Li from the marketing department, also one of our own, has faced severe exclusion. That one in the floral shirt is Pei Zhuoxuan's lackey, the HR manager. Who knows how many of his people he has inserted into the company? My mother exchanged pleasantries with the veteran employees with a smile. During the meeting, Pei Zhuoxuan signaled to several of his confidants. They began to boast incessantly about the company's remarkable performance. Wait a moment. If the performance has been so stellar in these past few quarters, why is the profit margin for the third quarter so dismal? My mother tapped the table and spoke up. The individuals questioned were left speechless, stammering without a coherent response. My mother turned her gaze towards Pei Zhuoxuan. You had better provide a satisfactory explanation. Pei Zhuoxuan's complexion darkened, and he nearly crushed the pen in his hand. Not indulging his foul habits, my mother abruptly turned and left. Upon returning home, the first thing my mother did was to pull up all the accounts from the past 5 years. Cradling me, she meticulously flipped through the pages. Why has mother suddenly taken such an interest in the company? This trajectory is so different from a last lifetime. I yawned, unable to resist any longer, and fell into a deep slumber. When I awoke, I found my mother gazing at me with a sparkling expression. What is this look? Can she hear my thoughts? My mother playfully winked at me. Instantly, my heart blossomed with joy. Could it be? Mother can really hear my thoughts. How wonderful. United. Mother and daughter, we shall forge an unbreakable alliance. Let us show those contemptible people who is truly in charge. From that day forth, my mother became increasingly attentive, hardly leaving my side. In stark contrast, she paid no heed to the 6 ingrates. That night, as I lay in the nursery, drowsily nearing sleep, I overheard my wretched father and the old crone conversing outside. Mom, do you think Ming Ruan is caught onto something?
Impossible.
The old crone's voice was resolute. Your actions are flawless. What could she possibly discern? I reckon she is merely infatuated with her newborn for a few days. It will pass. I rolled my eyes and turned over. Fools, my mother has known all along. Just wait and see. Shortly thereafter, my mother returned, announcing, the children are growing up. Starting this month, all allowances are to be discontinued. If you want something, earn it through your own efforts. The expressions on Pei Zhuoxuan and the old crone darkened immediately.
Ming Ruan.
What madness is this? They are still children. The old crone shrieked. Is that so? I recall the eldest is already 15. In ancient times, they would be on the battlefield. The chief family does not raise idlers. After my mother spoke, she disregarded their grim faces and affectionately kissed me. Exactly. It should be this way. Let them consume what my mother provides while plotting against us. Not a chance. My mother listened to my thoughts while gently patting my back. Turning her head, she smiled brightly at the 6 youngsters. You all must take good care of your little sister as you grow up, understood? Pei Zhuoxuan and the old crone exchanged glances and nodded. He smiled at the ingrates. Your mother is speaking. Respond promptly. The youngsters begrudgingly complied. Suddenly, Pei Zhuoxuan slapped his forehead. Oh dear, I seem to have forgotten to close the car door. He said this and hurriedly exited. Humph, as if I would believe that. He must be off to alert the mistress. Sure enough, within 2 minutes, Pei Zhuoxuan returned. These ingrates, enjoying what my mother provides, yet unwilling to protect me. Mother, please send them away. My mother patted me and was about to speak when her phone rang. After answering, her expression changed dramatically. Sweetheart, there's an urgent matter at the company. I must go. She placed me back in the crib and summoned Pei Zhuoxuan. I am leaving the care of Mion to you and the children. As soon as my mother and Pei's Wishuan departed, the 6 youngsters surrounded the old crone. Grandma, Qiming has gone too far. How dare she cut off our allowances? Exactly, why should she dictate our spending? The old crone scoffed. What is there to fear? This household ultimately answers to your father. Once you grow a bit more, seize the shares from that wretched woman, and she will be of no consequence. She gestured at me with her chin. At that point, you can handle this little wretch however you please. I furiously kicked my legs on the bed and spat in her direction. The old crone glared sharply, approached, and pinched my bottom through the blanket. Pain shot through me, and tears welled in my eyes. The 6 ingrates exchanged glances, and the eldest sneered, Grandma, I think we should just make this little wretch dumb right now. If she is dumb, that wretched Qiming will have no choice but to rely on us. The old crone slapped her thigh. My eldest grandson is astute. They all chuckled sinisterly and turned to the bathroom to fetch a wet towel, advancing toward me with malevolent grins. The eldest grabbed my little leg and hoisted me upside down. Little wretch, blame your mother for indulging you so much. Now that she is gone, let us see who can save you. Gazing at his grotesque face, I shut my eyes tightly, my little fists clenched together, and squeezed my bottom hard. A yellowish stain splattered across the eldest's face. Grandma, she just urinated on me. He spat dramatically, his eyes turning red with fury. The cold, wet towel was poised to cover my mouth and nose. This was dire. I cried out, Mom, come save me. They're going to kill me.
Mom.
Just as the wet towel was about to envelop my face, the door burst open. My mother stood at the threshold, flanked by several sharply dressed men, including Uncle Wang. Her eyes were red-rimmed, fixed intently on me, who was being dangled by the eldest, and the wet towel in his hand. What are you doing? My mother's voice trembled with fury. The 6 ingrates were struck with fear, and the eldest lost his grip, causing me to tumble onto the carpet. Ouch, my bottom. They were trying to suffocate me. My mother rushed over, cradling me in her arms with a pained expression. The old crone, quick to react, plopped down on the floor, wailing dramatically. Oh no, we were just playing with the child. You are accusing us unjustly. The eldest hastened to defend himself. Mom, you misunderstood. We were merely trying to help little sister find a more comfortable position. Lao Sen nodded in agreement, exclaiming, Yes, yes, the towel is meant for wiping my sister's face. She drooled. They rushed to justify themselves, yet their words were riddled with inconsistencies. Enraged, I spat at them. Bah. A bunch of vile creatures turning black into white. Moments ago, you sought to smother me, and now you feign innocence. Mother's gaze grew increasingly frosty. At that moment, Pei's Wishuan burst into the room. Upon witnessing the scene, he promptly attempted to mediate. Ruan, do not be agitated. It's all a misunderstanding. Shielding the 6 boys behind him, he continued, Mion is the youngest. Her brothers cherish her dearly. How could they harm her? They were merely playing. The 6 boys nodded vigorously, like chicks pecking at rice. Indeed, Mama. We love our sister the most. I glared at his duplicitous face, my anger boiling over. Love to the point of nearly suffocating me and rendering me senseless? Pei's Wishuan, you blind fool. Mother, quickly present the evidence and slap them in the face. Ignoring their pleas, Mother seized a tablet from Uncle Wang, activating a video. The footage revealed the entire scheme concocted by the old hag and the 6 ungrateful boys, detailing their plans to render me foolish and to suffocate me. Capturing their menacing expressions with clarity, the old hag's wailing was abruptly silenced. The faces of the 6 boys turned ashen. Pei's Wishuan's countenance darkened, not from shock at their malevolence, but in furious reproach towards Mother. Qiming Ruan, you installed surveillance in our home? You no longer trust me? Only a fool would trust you. I had already advised Mother to check the surveillance. I knew you all were up to no good. His shameless words made Mother tremble with rage as she hurled the tablet at him. If I had trusted you, my Mion would have been suffocated by your wretched sons today. Pei's Wishuan, take your good sons and your good mother, and leave this house at once. Pei's Wishuan attempted to plead. Ruan, they were merely confused. They are still children. Silence. Mother interrupted, tossing a stack of documents at his face. This is the evidence of your embezzlement. arranging for your useless relatives to join the company, and subcontracting projects to your cousin's sham company. I offer you two choices. Either they leave, or you leave with them. Pei Wuxuan's eyes widened in horror as he gazed at the evidence. After a long struggle, he finally gritted his teeth and turned to the boys and the old hag. You all must move out first. The old hag stared at him in disbelief.
Accent.
You would expel us for this wretched woman? She rushed forward and slapped Pei Wuxuan across the face. You heartless scoundrel. He pulled her aside, lowering his voice. Mother, take them to stay elsewhere for a few days. Once I've soothed Ruan, I will bring you all back. Reluctantly, they began to pack their belongings. The old hag approached my mother, spitting venomously. You are reveling now, but I wonder how long you can maintain this joy. A woman who cannot even bear a son will eventually have to beg us to return. Beg, for what? Mother has me, and that is ample. Sooner or later, I shall send you, old hag, to the crematorium. Mother dismissed her with a wave of her hand, and several bodyguards stepped forward to seize their luggage. Not a single item in this house belongs to you. You shall not take anything that is mine. The old hag trembled with rage, and the 6 boys glared at us with murderous intent. Ultimately, it was Pei Wuxuan's pleas that finally ushered this wretched family out the door. As soon as they departed, Pei Wuxuan fell to his knees before my mother and me. He raised his hand and struck his own face with resounding slaps. Wan, I was wrong. I truly did not know they were such heartless creatures. Rest assured, I will educate them properly. My mother was just confused. She meant no harm, merely trying to frighten Mian. Can one truly utter such nonsense? Frighten? You nearly scared the life out of me. Even now, you are making excuses for them. Mother, make him leave. Pei Wuxuan crawled closer, attempting to grasp my mother's hand. Wan, do not be angry. From now on, I will heed your every word at home. All right? Mother, quickly declare that we shall divorce him. Is it worth keeping such a man around? Mother looked down on him, retrieving a document from her bag and tossing it onto the coffee table in front of the kneeling Pei Wuxuan. Since you claim you will listen to me, very well. Sign this. Pei Wuxuan took up the document, and his expression of remorse and humility vanished, replaced by a stormy visage. It was a divorce agreement.
Kiming Ruan.
Are you serious? Marriage is not a child's game. Mian has only just turned 1 month old. Do you wish her to grow up without a father? Nestled in mother's embrace, I blew a bubble at him. With a father like you, it is better to have none. Sign it and leave quickly. Mother let out a cold laugh. Now you acknowledge she is your daughter? Where were you when your 6 good sons plotted to kill her? Now you speak of fatherly love. Do you not find it repulsive? This scoundrel finally realizes the gravity of his actions. Mother, you are incredible. Listening to mother's words, I clapped my hands in glee. Pei Wuxuan's face shifted between shades of green and white. He knew that being forceful would not work and began to adopt a softer approach. Wan, I admit I was foolish before, but I love you. And I love Mian too. Grant me another chance. I swear I will sever ties with them, and we will live happily as a family of 3. His words were sincere, and tears glistened in his eyes. What a performance. Keep acting. Mother, please do not believe him. He will turn around and bring those ungrateful wolves back. Mother held me close, gently patting my back. Pei Wuxuan, put away your theatrics. Either sign, or I will hand these pieces of evidence over to the board and the police. You decide. Upon hearing this, Pei Wuxuan no longer glanced at the divorce agreement, but instead raised his hand, striking his own face. Wan, I am no better than an animal. I am a fool, blinded by my mother and those little brats. He wept and struck himself, his face smeared with tears and snot. Hit me, scold me. Do whatever it takes to ease your anger. Oh, now he is playing the pity card? Your strikes are too gentle. It feels like mere tickling, devoid of sincerity. Mother, quickly ask the bodyguard to assist him. He cannot bring himself to do it. Mother smirked. Very well. Since you are so earnest, I shall help you. She gestured to the bodyguards at the door. Assist Mr. Pei in regaining his clarity. 2 tall bodyguards moved forward, restraining Pei Wuxuan on either side. He panicked. Wan, are you serious? No, I'll do it myself. But the bodyguards disregarded him, launching a series of blows. Smack, smack, smack. The sound was immensely satisfying to my ears. Yes, yes, that's the right force. It sounds so relieving. In no time, Pei's Wishuan's face swelled to a grotesque state, his mouth and nose turning crimson. He mumbled in a slurred voice, "Stop, I was wrong. Wan. Spare me." Mother waved her hand, and the bodyguards ceased their assault. Pei's Wishuan, do you feel relieved now? For the moment, yes. Mother cast him a glance. However, I do not wish to see you again. You had best vanish immediately. Pei's Wishuan struggled to rise. All right, I will leave. I will stay at the company for the time being. We all need to cool down. Do not let your health deteriorate. With that, he limped away in a pitiful state. Mother, you are so formidable. That was immensely satisfying. I danced joyfully in my mother's embrace. She leaned down to kiss my forehead, then picked up the divorce agreement from the coffee table. Her gaze drifting towards the entrance, her expression growing somber. You disdain a dignified approach. It seems I must impose one upon you. 7. Pei's Wishuan indeed kept his word, concealing that pig-like visage for several days. However, he was far from passive. Starting on the third day, a plethora of extravagant gifts began to flood our home. Flowers, jewels, limited edition handbags, all accumulating in the living room. He also sent heartfelt messages punctually every day, expressing his remorse and longing. The fragrance of the flowers overwhelmed me, causing me to sneeze repeatedly. This scoundrel is truly investing heavily, attempting to sweeten my mother with a sugar-coated trap. My mother didn't even glance at the items. She ordered the bodyguards to pack everything up and dispose of it at the nearby trash station. Subsequently, she made a phone call. Cancel all of Pei's Wishuan's credit cards. Furthermore, regarding the project in the eastern city he was overseeing, scrutinize the accounts and halt all non-compliant disbursements. Mother is formidable. She has cut off their supply of resources at the root. This maneuver struck precisely at Pei's Wishuan's Achilles heel. He was already lavishly spending. And now with that pack of ingrates and the old hag, along with the mistress and her family, they would not survive a day without my mother's financial support. As anticipated, the very next afternoon, Pei's Wishuan stormed back in a frenzy. His injuries had yet to heal. Bruises marred his face, rendering him both ridiculous and pitiful. Wan, he exclaimed upon entering, collapsing at my mother's feet. You cannot treat me this way. The cards are cancelled. The project funds are halted. My family will starve. He wept bitterly. I realize my mistakes. Punish me however you wish, but do not sever my means of survival. My mother leisurely sipped her coffee. Your means of survival are not mine to sever. Wan, I beg you, grant me one last chance. He clung to my mother's calf, his eyes red from weeping. I gently patted my mother. Mother, please don't push him to the brink. Be cautious of his desperate retaliation against us. My mother's gaze shifted slightly. She set down her coffee cup and looked down at him. All right, I shall grant you one more chance. Pei's Wishuan's head snapped up, his eyes ablaze with ecstasy. My mother picked up another document from the table and tossed it to him. This is the development project in the Western New District, one of the company's most significant undertakings. It is now entrusted to you. If you succeed, the past will be forgotten. If you fail, she paused, you will vanish from the company entirely. Pei's Wishuan snatched the document, as if it were a priceless treasure. He believed my mother had been swayed by his passionate pleas and had relented. Wan, rest assured, I shall dedicate myself utterly, to the very end. Clutching the document like a life-preserving talisman, he scurried away. No sooner had he departed than my mother's phone rang. She glanced at the screen, revealing a series of photographs. In the images, Pei's Wishuan, the old hag, 6 ingrates, and the mistress were all cozily settled in a luxurious community near our home, radiating a false sense of familial bliss. My mother's expression grew, increasingly frosty. Pei's Wishuan, since you revel in theatrics, I shall provide you with a grander stage.
8.
The following day, my mother arranged a meeting with a private investigator recommended by Uncle Wang. He was a shrewd, middle-aged man. My mother was forthright. I need you to infiltrate Pei's Wishuan's circle. She pushed forward the meticulously prepared dossier. This is the persona you will adopt. General Chen, a wealthy yet enigmatic overseas investor. A fierce rival of the Qi Group. Your task is to convince him that you wish to utilize him to undermine the Qi Group. The investigator's eyes gleamed as he perused the documents. What is the compensation? My mother extended 5 fingers. The investigator's breath quickened.
Resta surd, Madame Key.
I will accomplish the task. My mother produced a miniature camera. I wish to witness each of your encounters live. Everything was arranged with meticulous care. Mother's strategy to draw the snake from its hole is masterful. That foolish father will undoubtedly take the bait. The plan unfolded with remarkable ease. General Chen quickly connected with the eager Pei Zhuxuan through a social gathering. Their first formal meeting was set in a private room at an upscale club. My mother and I sat on our sofa at home, observing every detail of the gathering through a tablet. General Chen exuded authority, expressing disdain for the Qi group with every word. Pei Zhuxuan, indeed a fool, fell for the ruse within mere sentences. After a few drinks, he began to boast. To be candid, the Qi group is merely a shell, sustained solely by my efforts. That woman, Qi Mingruan, is all style and no substance. She knows nothing but how to spend money. The company would collapse without me. Witnessing his smug expression, I felt a surge of anger. General Chen skillfully dangled the bait. A young talent like you, Pei, reduced to playing second fiddle is a tragedy. Why not collaborate? You provide me with the core data of the Western project, and I will help you swallow the entire Qi group. Once the deed is done, you will be the chairman of the new company. Pei Zhuxuan's eyes instantly lit up, his breath quickening. Chairman, the position he had dreamt of obtaining. He stood, raising his glass. Rest assured, General Chen, this task is mine to fulfill. From now on, Pei Zhuxuan, will serve you like a dog. His obsequious demeanor was nearly unbearable. This great fool truly believes he is the chosen one. Mother, quickly. It's time to slip the divorce agreement into the contract for him to sign. I clapped my hands excitedly in my mother's embrace. She ruffled my hair, silently uttering 2 words into the air. Reel him in. Their second meeting was arranged in a 5-star hotel's executive suite, ostensibly to sign the formal cooperation agreement. General Chen prepared an impressively formal and complex English contract, with a Chinese document sandwiched in the middle. The title read, Marriage Property Division and Divorce Agreement. The content was exceedingly harsh, requiring Pei Zhuxuan to voluntarily relinquish all marital assets and leave with nothing. Ensnared by his dreams of grandeur, Pei Zhuxuan failed to scrutinize the details. General Chen pointed to the signature line. Pei, please. Pei Zhuxuan, with a flourish, scribbled his name, even gleefully returning the contract to General Chen. A pleasant collaboration. 9. Signed.
He signed.
This fool has sold himself, and is counting his own money.
Ha ha ha.
I rolled on the bed in delight. After signing, Pei Zhuxuan received his first assignment, to steal the core data of the Western project. The next day, he eagerly set his plan into motion. Under the pretense of following up on the Western project, he swaggered into the finance department. Provide me with the financial statements for the past 3 years and all funding flows for ongoing projects. He barked orders, assuming the role of the company's master. Uncle Wang, the financial director and a longtime associate of my grandfather, understood the situation well. He stalled while discreetly messaging my mother. Pei, these are core company secrets. I cannot provide them without Chairman Qi's authorization. Pei Zhuxuan's expression darkened. How dare you? Am I your boss or is she? I run this company now. My words are orders. Just as he prepared to seize the computer, my mother entered, cradling me, flanked by a host of company executives. What do you need the company's core secrets for? My mother's voice was quiet, yet each word resonated with authority. Pei Zhuxuan, upon seeing us, was initially taken aback, but quickly straightened up. What I do is none of your concern.
Qi Mingruan.
I advise you to be sensible and willingly relinquish the position of chairman. Otherwise, do not blame me for disregarding our conjugal ties. He believed that with the formidable backing of Hongsheng Group, he could act with impunity. The executives present regarded him with expressions of incredulity. Mother smiled. Conjugal ties? Do you even deserve them? She forcefully flung a document into Pei Zhuxuan's face. Take a good look at what you truly are. Pei Zhuxuan picked up the document, and upon seeing the large letters divorce agreement alongside the familiar signature below, he froze in shock. No, this is impossible. When did I ever sign this? You signed it yourself. Are you now denying your own handwriting? Mother gazed coldly at him, reminding him that the agreement clearly stated he would leave with nothing. From this moment forward, you are no longer connected to the Chi family, nor to me. Security, throw him out. Pei Zuoshuan's face transformed from ashen to a deep shade of purple as he finally grasped that he had been duped.
Kim In-gruan.
You venomous woman. You have plotted against me. With reddened eyes, he howled as he lunged towards us. I was taken aback by his menacing demeanor, my small frame trembling. A surge of warmth splattered across his face. Pei Zuoshuan's movements halted. He wiped his face, sniffed, and then emitted a more anguished scream.
Ah!
I will kill you both. Before he could reach us, a security guard kicked him to the ground. After a flurry of punches and kicks, he was dragged out of the company building like a defeated dog. His era, which had yet to begin, had already concluded. Pei Zuoshuan and his entire family had gone utterly mad. Leaving with nothing, burdened with insurmountable debt, they first sought out General Qin, only to find he was nowhere to be found. They then returned to the villa in a frenzy, but could not even enter the front gate. A cornered animal truly will leap over walls. They directed all their resentment towards my mother and me. A week later, Mother took me for a routine checkup. On our way back, a van suddenly veered out, forcing us to halt. The doors swung open, and several masked young men rushed out, wielding clubs. It was those 6 ungrateful wretches. They knocked out the driver and forcibly dragged my mother and me into the van. I was terrified by the sudden turn of events. Mother, it's them. What do they want? Mother held me tightly, her face pale, yet her gaze remarkably composed. Don't be afraid, Mian, I am here. The vehicle jostled along before finally stopping at an abandoned warehouse. Inside, Pei Zuoshuan and the old witch had been waiting. Upon seeing us, the old witch's wrinkled face broke into a wide grin, revealing a mouthful of yellowed teeth. Qi Mingruan, did you ever expect this day would come for you? Pei Zuoshuan's eyes brimmed with malice, as if he wished to devour us whole. Sign the stock transfer agreement, and I will grant you a chance at survival. He tossed a document before my mother. I looked at the grotesque faces of these individuals, feeling a wave of disgust. A bunch of fools. Do you think you can threaten my mother like this? Mother stared coldly at him, dreaming in vain. Still defiant, the old witch cackled and approached me. Who knows what is so special about this little brat, neglecting my 6 grandsons to dote on her instead? She extended her gnarled hand, feigning to pinch my face. Hurry up and sign the stock transfer. Otherwise, I shall take bites out of this little one. The old witch opened her yellowed maw and truly leaned in towards me. A foul stench assaulted my nostrils. Get away from me, you old hag. Don't touch me with your filthy hands. In a moment of quick thinking, I turned around, presenting my rear towards her, and with a sudden push, released a forceful expulsion. The old witch recoiled, gagging as she staggered back. Ugh, ugh, ugh. You little wretch. The 6 ungrateful wretches immediately surrounded me. Grandma, she asked, using that trick again. You little brat, we'll make sure you regret it today. They sneered at me, closing in step by step. Mother, save me. Just as the situation became dire, the warehouse door was kicked open from the outside. Blinding sunlight flooded in. Dozens of uniformed police officers, armed and ready, stormed in, followed closely by Uncle Wang and our bodyguards. Don't move. Police. Pei Zuoshuan and his family were instantly rendered speechless.
How could this be?
Pei Zuoshuan's face displayed utter disbelief. You found us here? His venomous gaze fell upon Uncle Wang among the crowd. It's you. Uncle Wang. I treated you well, yet you betrayed me. Uncle Wang looked at him with disdain and contempt. Mother chuckled coldly, standing up while holding me. Pei Zuoshuan, you fool. She approached him, lowering her voice to a tone audible only to them. Did you really think that your trifling bribes could sway Uncle Wang, who has been loyal to my father for 30 years? The moment you contacted him, you fell into the trap I had laid for you. Pei Zuoshuan's pupils dilated to mere pinpoints. It dawned on him that he had merely been a puppet in my mother's hands from the very beginning. The police swiftly moved in, pinning the entire family to the ground and placing cold handcuffs upon them. The mistress continued to scream. It's not my fault. It's all him. Pei Zuoshuan forced me to do this. Her words provoked Pei Zuoshuan, who broke free from one officer's grasp and lunged at the mistress, engaging in a scuffle. You wretched woman. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you inciting me, how would I have ended up like this? The scene devolved into chaos, resembling a farcical dogfight. Ultimately, police officers had to use tasers to separate them. Pei's Wishuan was held down by 2 officers, but suddenly, he spotted my mother as if she were a final lifeline. He wailed, struggling to crawl towards her, clinging to her leg. Wan, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Please forgive me this once. For Mian's sake, grant me another chance. Do you realize your mistake? Or, do you realize your doom? I looked at his disgraceful demeanor, disdain evident in my expression. Mother delivered a firm kick, sending him sprawling. She took a file from Uncle Wang and handed it to the lead officer. Officer, here is all the evidence of Pei's Wishuan's embezzlement, commercial fraud, and the deliberate attempt on my parents' lives. Furthermore, we have the full recording of their kidnapping and extortion of us. Please ensure that justice is served. The officer opened the file, and upon seeing its contents, his expression turned grave. Rest assured, Ms. Qi, we will not overlook any criminal. Pei's Wishuan and his entire family were escorted away like a pack of stray dogs, defeated. The old witch, perhaps overwhelmed by the situation, fainted, foaming at the mouth. Later, it was reported that she suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and, though she was saved, she ended up half-paralyzed, destined to spend the rest of her life bedridden.
Pei's Wishuan,
due to multiple charges, was sentenced to life imprisonment. The 6 ungrateful wretches, though minors, were sent to a juvenile detention center for their involvement in the kidnapping. As for the mistress, she received a prison sentence of several years. The farce had finally come to a conclusion. Mother regained full control of the company, implementing sweeping reforms and eradicating all of Pei's Wishuan's infiltrators, leading to a significant improvement in the company's performance. Meanwhile, I became my mother's sole treasure. She lavished upon me countless beautiful dresses and dazzling diamonds. On my first birthday, Mother reserved the city's most expensive landmark, using drones to spell out my name in the night sky. Qingmian, your mother loves you. Mother, I love you too. Nestled in my mother's embrace, I gazed at the sky ablaze with fireworks, my toothless grin radiating pure joy. In this lifetime, with my mother by my side, I am the happiest little cherub in the world. Thus concludes the tale. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again for the next story.